What is up, all of you Ugnaughts and Jawas out there, and welcome in to Mando Talk, one and final, last Mando Talk ride with the boys. I am so thankful that we were able to pull this together. I am Caleb Keller, but joining me is DJ Foster and Zach Horvath. This is magical. What's up, guys?
Did any time pass at all?
It's been a minute.
Here we are.
It's been a minute.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, "Are we doing this?" And then you said, "What's up, all you Ugnaughts and Jawas?" And I'm like, "I'm back." It was that quick. It was
just
that
a
quick.
Switch. Yeah.
Yep.
Zach, how you doing?
Good. I'm happy to be here, man. Just happy to get together. First off, just good to see everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
But talk about Andor, talk about Star Wars and the state it's in.
Man.
Come on,
Dude. Star Wars.
I'm actually excited today. Can you believe
I know, dude. I know. Andor is like a show that's bread and butter. Zach Horvath.
Oh, man,
It totally is, man. There were plenty of times I watched this season and I was like, I know Horvath's all about that right now.
Oh,
Yeah, this is me and my baby.
100%. So you ended up getting Taylor to watch it, Zach?
She has not seen it yet.
Oh, she hasn't
seen it.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
she's seen it season 1, loved it.
Yeah.
But she like missed, the first arc, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait." Like,
Yeah.
all right, whatever.
Maddie's kind of the same way. She watched the first 3, I think, and then other things that piqued her interest, like silly things, really got her. So
She's like really into books now. So
She got
she's, like,
distracted.
reading. Yeah, so I just let her read her books, and then I enjoy mine.
what about you, DJ? Is it a family watch, or was Andor more so just you?
No, man. My wife, I have a wonderful wife. Okay.
Yeah,
The
I think we can
unsung
all say that.
the unsung heroes of Mando Talk have always been our wives. Let's be real.
True. 100%.
But at the same time, no, my wife has never really cared much for the Star Wars TV series. Like, she watched Kenobi, and I think the reason is little Leia piqued her interest.
Fair.
With Andor, I don't know. It's such a serious show that I don't know if she would just go, okay, let's do it. Now we did go see Revenge of the Sith for the 25th anniversary, or 20th anniversary. Sorry, I'm 5 years in the future apparently. At a theater near us not too long ago, and so that was really cool to take my daughter to go see Star Wars. That was her first Star Wars movie theater experience. But that was really cool. Now, I don't recommend taking a 3-year-old to see Revenge of the Sith, but I did it. Now you don't have to. So, but no, Andor's not a household watch for us. I typically watched it after they went to bed. It was just how we did it. But I loved it, and I'd go to Hillary and be like, this happened, and I need to tell somebody. And she'd go, oh, okay, cool. She was just happy. She's happy that I'm happy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect sense. Yeah, so if it wasn't clear at the top before we get into the Andor season 2 spoiler discussion, Mando Talk. This is the final podcast episode being released to podcast feeds. This is the last video on the Mando Talk YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel itself is not going away. I want to make that clear. We are just simply rebranding to Caleb's Cantina. So if you are a loyal Mando Talk listener, and podcast platform is how you have taken in all the great memories that we have had together, just hop on over to YouTube officially and join in, subscribe to Caleb's Cantina. The reason for the name change, I just want to open it up to talk about all kinds of things. And Caleb's Cantina makes it Star Wars still, I think. Like, it's still a very Star Wars-y vibe. But now it just gives me an opportunity to kind of, not more so in a structured setting, if you will, like week to week to week, just talk about whatever. So that's kind of the reason of the switch. And it'll allow me to just focus in on the flexibility of it all. So yeah,
I thought
I'm
you
excited
just
about it.
wanted to make it all about you.
Nope, that's not it.
You can
Not
say
at
it.
all.
Hey, it's your channel. It's
Well,
like-
okay, yeah. It's
Truthfully,
whatever,
truthfully, it's like we talked about. It's so hard for all of us to get together these days, being parents and in our careers now. So that's not to say, I mean, guys, when Superman comes out, I would love to do this right here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
When
son's
is-
birthday. We're going.
When is it? When is it coming out? Because I
July
don't
11th.
remember. July 11th. Okay.
So it being Caleb's cantina doesn't mean it's just me, but in cantinas you go to a cantina with friends. It's okay for you to
Yeah,
show
that's
up
right.
too.
You're
just
just in the
happens
Just
to
back,
be
say,
my
just,
cleaning
cantina.
just save
cleaning
us,
glass
just save
and
us a
stuff.
corner booth. That's all you need.
Yeah,
to do.
Yeah,
Save
that's
us a
right.
corner-
That's right.
That reminds me of like How I Met Your Mother, where they have a little picture of the whole cast in the little.
Never
booth.
seen it.
Oh,
Oh, you're actually missing out. That's
You
a
are
really
missing
good
out.
show.
I just never. I don't know.
I was actually thinking of the song Neon Moon,
Oh, that's a good one.
But-
My wife loves Neon Moon.
specifically the Casey Musgraves version.
Oh,
I love that. I love that song. But I was thinking about that because it's like there's always a place here for the lonely. But that's the beauty of Caleb's Cantina. Nobody's lonely at Caleb's
That's
Cantina.
That's right. That's right. I
and
think
so this is to open you up to talk about more than Star Wars.
100%. 100%. Like, for example, The Last of Us that just came out. I didn't really
Yeah.
have a platform to talk about it, but I loved to talk about it. I mean, me and
Yeah.
Zach literally texted about it back and forth throughout the week, but I didn't
Yeah.
really have a platform to post content or just
Yeah.
open up the discussion to other people, brand new people, and kind of hear what they're thinking. And so just naming it Caleb's Cantina, I think it gives me that option.
And once you
I-
do it
I
with Star
agree.
Wars or anything, it's like I want to do more of this. I want to talk about other things. I want to talk
Right.
about Last of Us. So I got to get all this out.
Right, because now Andor has finished. Like, Star Wars is kind of crickets until Mando and Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would just kind of put me just chilling, twiddling my thumbs a little bit. But that just kind of opens it up where, yeah, if a big Star Wars news piece drops, yeah, I'll be doing some kind of content on it when I get the opportunity to. But yeah, I'm excited, very excited about the flexibility of it.
So if you had to like gauge it, so are you thinking like you're obviously going to talk about Superman because you did just say that, but also are you really amped up for all the future Marvel stuff too?
Oh,
Because
100%.
This is
Fantastic.
gonna be like
Four,
anything, right? Anything entertainment, I guess.
anything entertainment.
okay,
Like, for example, whenever the Last of Us finale came out, they tagged that It series trailer before it. That
Right.
fired Maddie up, and so that means I'm probably going to be watching that. And if it's good enough, I'll do a video on it. Why not?
I appreciate what you're doing and I care for you and your platform. However, I will never, ever, ever tune in for that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
out on
fair.
that too. But
fair.
hey,
yeah, no.
we
But I'm just
support
saying
you.
that's to say it's
I just
there.
can't
It's
do I
there.
can't do horror. I've never been able to
Same.
do horror. I can't do
Same.
it.
I'm a
It
big
just-
baby. I'll literally be laying in bed
Yeah.
like thinking about it and crying. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like that's where I'm at.
I took the trash out to this dumpster down here the other day, and a raccoon popped out. It didn't come at me. It just freaked me out. I was like, if I get jumpy over a rodent,
Oh,
I don't need to watch a killer clown in the sewers. Is all
yeah.
I'm saying.
That's
I think
fair.
that's fair.
Well, I do want to
Okay,
shout out
great.
real quickly. Kay in the chat says hello there. Galactic Cantina also threw in a hello there. Galactic Cantina, again, all the Cantina channels. Yeah, I'm joining the squad. Kay, break out the modal nodes. Galactic Cantina, just like Friends, How I Met Your Mother is one of the shows I've never watched on demand, but when it's on TV, I keep watching. Absolutely. Kay, I have friends everywhere. I have friends everywhere. I love that tagline, although it took me like 2 episodes to figure out that was a secret code word for Luthen, Andor, and the
Really?
crew. I don't know why. It took me until Vel said it to realize, oh, they're saying that to people that are in the rebellion. Idiot.
You ain't in it, brother. You ain't in it.
I'm an
Oh,
idiot.
Caleb. Oh, Caleb. You know that would have been a fun revelation to have live.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
back when we were doing those weekly pods.
Wait
You
a
know what I mean?
second.
You'd have been
Yeah,
like, "Oh, that's what
somebody
that is."
Somebody would have said, I have friends everywhere, and I'd be like, why is everybody still
Why-
saying
yeah,
that?
what
all
am I
over
not
and over?
in on here?
Cassian's just telling this girl that he needs clothes for this new location he's going to. He's just saying, I have friends everywhere. Okay, give me the clothes. Whatever, move on. Oh, well.
Like
Anyway.
the Cantina says, I'll definitely watch both Fantastic Four and Superman on IMAX. Whew. Great.
I
call.
think Superman would be great on IMAX. I'm not completely sold on Fantastic Four yet.
I'm weird about my IMAX viewings. I'm so picky. Like I don't go to everything for IMAX.
Yeah.
I'll probably hit super. If I take the kids, no. But if I do not, I would love to see that in IMAX. I feel like
I think I've only actually seen one movie in IMAX ever, and it was a re-release of Raiders of the Lost Ark,
that's cool.
and that was really something.
I had one of the
special.
best IMAX experiences ever with Dune 2.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I don't doubt that at all.
Oh,
Golly.
dude, absolutely incredible. I went twice, actually. I went twice
To IMAX both times.
Yeah, my wife and I went opening night, and then my grandfather was like, "Oh, I haven't seen it. If you take me, I'll pay." I'm like, "I'm in." So
Deal.
Say less.
with him.
That is the definition of some things never change.
Yeah.
That is the literal definition. You're buying? Deal.
I know. Like, where are we going? I'll drive. When are we leaving? But no, that Dune 2 was incredible. I'm sure Superman. I mean, don't get me wrong. I bet Fantastic Four will be awesome too in IMAX. God, expensive, man. Woo, expensive.
Yeah, I remember just for Raiders, and this was back in 2012 or 2013. I can't remember exactly which, but it was like $35 for 2 tickets. And I was like, this movie came out in like 19.
It's probably 35 for one now.
You know, like 82, I think. It was just why am I spending $35 for 2 tickets?
Yeah,
but,
we're dropping 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for 2. It's oof. I think the other movie I saw in IMAX was Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh, okay. I bet that was fun.
That was awesome.
That's a good one. I bet. You said No Way Home, right?
Yeah, the one with all the squad.
Okay, so all of them popping out of the Doctor Strange tunnel. I don't know what that's called. That must have. Yeah, sure, whatever. Portal. Yeah, there's a whole song named after it in game. I should know that. When they all pop out of the portal. That probably was big, like a huge, like
everybody jumping up. And I was just like,
that's great.
I'm crying. My wife's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Yes."
I remember Caleb. He sent me a text of myself, like he sent me a picture of me before I saw that movie. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to see No Way Home tonight." And he goes, "Well, do you care if you get a spoiler?" And I was like, "What's the spoiler?" And he goes, "You'll see." And it was my biography on our church website because I was a youth pastor. And he texted it to me and he goes, "You'll get it once it happens." And then they said to Toby, "Why are you dressed like a cool youth pastor?"
Oh, that's right. Okay, I remember that.
And I was like, "Okay, touche. Thank you. Appreciate that."
I remember that now.
But now every time I see that T-shirt and jacket combo that Toby had on, I see it all the time in TV now. And I go, why is this fool dressed like a cool youth pastor? I think that every freaking time, even like in the new Captain America, Anthony Mackie, he's dressed like that for half the movie. When he's not wearing the suit, he's wearing that jacket and T-shirt. I'm like, why are you dressed like a cool youth pastor? Every single time. I can't help but think about it. Anyway, we're talking about Andor, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can get into Andor.
We can. I don't want to spend too much time talking about whether or not someone's dressed like a cool youth pastor. We can. I don't think that's what we're here for.
Cantina says hour plus 1 hour major city here to find an IMAX cinema. So you got to be special. Saw Revenge of the Sith on an XL screen. I see.
Dude.
That's good.
Gonna watch Mando and Grogu on IMAX. I think that's a good call. I think
Great
that's
call.
a worthy IMAX experience.
100%. I will be doing IMAX for that one.
And then
shout out to my brother in the chat.
Yeah. What up?
It's my brother Gavin. I think he's gotten married and had a kid since I've been on an episode of the show.
Yeah, that's probably the truth.
And John says, "End of an era."
That's right.
Hey, shout out John Hare because John helped make the Mando Talk intro. That's my buddy John. So it's nice. I'm glad that they're tuned. And Gavin was on the show a couple times.
Yeah, he did Visions.
Visions, yeah. And so kind of nice. It's a family reunion.
It is. It is.
Oh, and get this. Gavin and John are now brothers-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah, my brother married his sister. I don't know what that makes me and John, but probably nothing. But whatever.
Give or take.
It's a brother-in-law. Is that?
The law.
But it's cool. Like, I'm glad that we've got these guys, showing up for us and saying, hey, because they're a huge part of Mando Talk, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Rayside in the chat. Yo.
Oh. What up, Hannah?
Just ayo.
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 No, it's ayo.
It's crazy they put that in the chat because my son and I, that's all we say to each other. He comes into a room, hey, oh, that's exactly what he says every single time.
Hey,
And he starts saying bruh all the time. He's 3.
that's
I'm
crazy.
like, stop saying bruh. Stop.
I was gonna
Stop.
say Hannah deserves a special shout out too, because whenever I went onto her channel, like Mando Talk's subscriber count went up by like 50 easily.
Oh,
Oh
sweet.
yeah, dude, I remember that. That was awesome.
I remember when we broke 100.
Yeah,
Dude, yeah, I know that was like a major milestone.
I remember when we broke 100. I think I was there for 200 or close to 200. I can't remember now, but I remember 100 because I was just like, we did it.
Yeah,
boom,
We
baby.
did it.
I think we were
made
like
it.
randomly talking about Spider-Man No Way Home for some reason.
We probably were talking about
Hey,
Spider-Man.
Here we are.
That may have
That's what
been
it
when we
is.
were doing a Geekverse.
Yeah, little Geekverse reactions in here somewhere.
That was a fun piece of music to put together, by the way. I still have it somewhere.
See now you'll be open to talk about any of this stuff, my guy.
yeah.
I know it's exciting, very
Yeah.
exciting. Let's see, Battlefront 3. Okay, well, let's pause and talk about that for a second.
Yes,
That's been going
let's.
crazy.
Let's.
And I'm gonna pass it to Zach because I know that he's been
Please.
getting his hands on it.
All right. So I jumped on the train on this. Okay, the Battlefront 2 train. Everyone, oh, Battlefront 2. I am obsessed with this game, fellas. I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop playing it. It is so fun. I looked on my PlayStation. I had 19 hours whenever it came out, 10 years ago or whatever. I had 19 hours and I remember liking it. I am like obsessed with this game.
That's
I
awesome.
am having
Which
so
one? Which
much
part
fun.
of the game?
So specifically what I'm obsessed with right now is supremacy mode
Yes.
of the Republic specifically.
Yes.
You can break it into Republic, Empire, whatever, Rebellion, and then whatever.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So you've got like, prequel, sequel, or OGs. And so
Right.
I'm obsessed with the prequel specifically because I love the like characters you can play with. And so I am having I can't stop. Like every night I'm playing it in the bed.
Okay,
There's like-
we need to add each other and get in on like a heroes versus villains match or something.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't know why we're not already on PlayStation together, but
It was true. I don't know.
I don't either.
I try not to. Yeah, I try not to talk about PlayStation too much on here because I get obsessed with video games. But
it's applicable right now, 100%.
true. I legitimately I am. Okay, I got a hot take for you guys. There ain't gonna be a Battlefront 3. There doesn't need to be one. This game holds up. It looks incredible. It looks incredible.
I think if EA, they're not going to do it. They should. But what they need to do is just add a handful of characters, a handful of maps. Like,
I agree with this.
Charge whatever you want.
Is Din Djarin on there yet?
No. So they've completely stopped any support for this 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's been radio silence. Like I will get on there like before these past few weeks. Occasionally, I have the disc. So I'll pop the disc in and just see what's going on. And like you couldn't even get into like a Galactic Assault match for the longest time.
Yeah.
So just to scratch the itch, I was like, there's always somebody playing heroes versus villains. Always. So I would jump into heroes versus villains just to like go back to when it was constantly bumping.
Yeah.
And now like the last few weeks, oh my gosh, it took like 30 milliseconds to get into a match every time you go in. It was the best.
Yeah.
And I want that to happen all the time. So what they do is just throw in these new characters, throw in Din Djarin.
Yeah. I agree.
Ahsoka.
Throw in Ahsoka. Asajj Ventress should have been in there with Ahsoka a long time ago.
I agree. And Galactic says in the chat, never played Battlefront Online, started story campaign. The story's legit. If you haven't played
good.
that,
Yeah,
it's good.
it is.
Good.
It's
Connects
worth
well.
playing for sure. TK says, I disagree. Needs way more heroes, needs live service for active support with hackers and things. So I disagree with your disagree because that's why I love it. There's no cross-platform. I don't have to worry about PC no-lifers that are hacking and yada yada. I can just play Xbox. I play controller players on the Xbox, and I'm having so much fun.
TK is my brother, and I know this. So I'm going to throw him under the bus for just a second.
Here we go.
He plays on a computer. He doesn't. I mean, he has I think an Xbox or whatever.
Hey, I respect that.
Like he plays on a computer. I get it. I understand why he's coming from that angle. I don't.
Well, I watched a streamer play it, and dude, he couldn't play a game because he was hackers every game. Every game was hackers. So in that regard, I think I completely agree with you that they got to do something there, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you do at this point because
back in the day on Halo, you could like boot a guy, but it would shut down the whole match.
well, it's so weird now because of Lucasfilm Games and EA, and they're not doing nothing, and they stop support. It's a weird dynamic, and this resurgence is crazy. But I mean, it makes me so happy because I'm telling you, the environments are jaw dropping.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that it always looking absolutely beautiful.
And because it's an older game, you know, they've been able to bug fix the crap out of it. And so it looks great. And Rayside says, just give us a massive DLC for $50, uploads new characters, new maps. I completely agree.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's great.
I think I don't want to say it's a no-brainer, but that's free money for them.
It's a cash grab, exactly.
It's free money.
If they would just do that, it's going to cost them less than they'll charge, and then they can put that into freaking Battlefield or every freaking 2K game for the next 1,000 years. You know,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I'm a big Battlefield guy, and let's be completely straight up. Battlefront 2 is Battlefield with Star Wars skin on it.
100%.
That's what it is. However, it's just so good, man. Like there's even the way they structured the game modes. There's like a story to it. So like you got to push them back, or they're going to take over your ship. And then if you do that, you know, then you got to go to your ship and you got to save that. And then like you're going down a corridor, and then you hear the lightsaber, and then you see Darth Vader coming towards you, and you're like, I'm dead. I am dead. Like those type of vibes are awesome, and it nails that. I've just been having so much fun, man.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to see that there's been like a massive push for it. Admittedly, I haven't really found the time to do it, but I want to so bad. Like I want to get back in the game while people are talking about it.
Let's be real. You're too busy out there helping, win championships.
Yeah,
So
well.
That's true.
yeah, no, Mando Talk people aren't going to know this. Caleb's a baseball coach, and the softball team at that school too. They went to they all went state.
In both sports. That's correct.
Both sports.
That's
like,
correct.
Come on, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Softball is even more impressive. Let's just say that,
Yeah, they dominated. They dominated.
No, that's crazy. That's awesome.
They dominated like the Empire.
You need to bring those championships over to Battlefront. Is really what we're getting at.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like it.
Hey, you need to get back on it for real. I saw on
I do.
PlayStation it's $10. If you you don't have a PlayStation, do you?
Me, yeah, like a PS4.
Well, that's all I have.
I don't think there's a PS5 version of it. I think there's only PS4.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I got the Celebration upgrade or whatever for $10, and so I already had the game, so I just bought that and got like credits and things, so I didn't have to grind too much.
Yeah, I'm all in on the $50 massive DLC.
Yeah, I
package.
completely agree. I think that is
great.
almost a no-brainer. Like whoever's working on Battlefield, take the Star Wars diehards, shove them in a corner, and say, "Hey, make some Mando skins and some Ahsoka skins. Do some different maps based on the new TV shows and Mando
Exactly.
and Grogu. Theme it around Mando and Grogu movie." And I'm telling you, you're talking free money on a
if they launched it in alongside of the Mando movie,
yes,
it would be a massive hit for them.
Yeah.
Because who knows what Grogu's going to do in that movie? Grogu could be doing flips and doing lightsaber crap like Yoda did in Attack of the Clones. I mean,
I think he will. I think he will.
I do think he will too. But that's my point. Is if you can, don't even. This would be a what do they call it whenever they don't like just put it in the game, but you have to buy it later. What's the thing called?
DLC.
Yeah, but like you have to buy it separate or whatever. I guess it is DLC. I don't know. But just do a Grogu DLC. $15.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Like you launch everything else, and then you just Grogu's $15. I mean,
just a Mando
just for that. Yeah,
you
could. You absolutely could.
Or the bounty hunter skin you got.
Yeah,
change some colors on it. Call it Mando. That thing's millions. Like
absolutely, that funds everything they need to do for like a year, at least a year.
Yeah,
I don't know why they wouldn't do it. I didn't realize I was going to get this passionate about Battlefront.
Yeah, I
so
didn't
sorry.
realize we were going to get into it this much,
Oh
but I
man,
love it.
it's just
So relevant right now, though.
It's got such good bones, man. Like
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm walking around this place and you're at like Maz's castle, and I'm like, oh, this is sick.
John said they should put Cal Kestis in Battlefront.
Oh, dude, no brainer, no brainer. Throw him in there.
What's the Night Sister's name in that game? I forgot.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember.
I don't know, but give me Ezra Bridger. That's who I want.
Put the whole Rebels gang in there. There you go.
That was the thing, though, about Battlefront.
There's honestly so many characters.
There is. They would always release a new character with an opposing character. So, like, when you got Obi-Wan, you got Grievous. So they have to do that. That's why it's like if you put in Ahsoka,
Trilla.
Let's put in Asajj Ventress. If you put in Din Djarin, you put in Moff Gideon. You know that you have to do these things and give people reasons like, cool, I've got Mando, but also now I can go play as Moff Gideon. You know,
I think
they
my
have to
favorite in the game right now is Luke Skywalker. I am having so much fun playing as him, man.
Man,
what a game!
It was so much fun when they put Anakin in the game because he was way too overpowered.
Oh yeah,
he would take out like 20 guys at once, and
because you can do like this, like, and it just
you can still do it. He's just been nerfed. He's been incredibly nerfed, and that's fine. I mean, it wasn't going to go well.
Star killer, but nerfed hard. I mean,
did you see Sam Witwer's whole thing about Star Killer the other day? It kind of, I think it was Hot Toys released like a maquette of like him, just this real detailed, thing you can get. But he with that, he went on about like why Star Killer will never be canon. And it was a legit little rant where he was like, he murdered Force Ghost Obi-Wan. He had Han Solo shoot Chewbacca, then killed Han Solo. Then he fought Leia as a Jedi, and she died. It's like, this cannot be canon. You can't make this character canon. Now, however, he'd still be pretty fun in Battlefront. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
And they have his character model. Just res it up. Throw him in there.
They do.
That's why I think about Kestis.
Did DICE do? EA and DICE do?
Oh, I don't know about that. I just know it exists.
Oh, okay. It's just somewhere. Hey, can you give us that flash drive from 2006?
That floppy disk.
Yeah, here you go. Click.
Oh man. Well, I'm eventually going to be checking Battlefront 2 out again, just because it's always been a fun game to me. I know there's been criticisms early on of just the depth that the game has to offer, but I still think that there's so much there for us Star Wars fans to continue to have fun with that one for many years to come, especially if they end up doing the DLC content with it. That would be phenomenal. Speaking of Zach earlier, I was so geared up for this perfect segue, and it's not going to work anymore, but I have to say it. You said that Battlefront has great bones. You know what else has great bones? Andor season freaking 2.
Yes,
I mean, let's just go ahead. We're going to go ahead, segue into our main topic of discussion. We aren't even note taking here. We are just open spoiler discussing Andor season 2. So your thoughts, chat, anybody watching on the playback, let us know in the chat, in the comments, your thoughts on Andor season 2 as we go, and we will gladly discuss, because I just want to be really present in this conversation and just see how it goes. So let's just start. Overall thoughts. I feel like I've kind of given it away. I think season 2 is by far the best season of Star Wars television. It's not even close. It's number 1 as far as best season of Star Wars television. And I've gotten to the point, and I've started this process. I know this might be a hot take. I don't know. Andor season 1, Andor season 2, and Rogue One is the best trilogy in Star Wars. Period. There's my review. 10 out of 10 stuff. I absolutely loved this season. DJ, overall thoughts on Andor season 2.
Man, so truly, I was not 100% like, yes, it's the best.
Yeah.
For the first arc, truly. I mean, at the end of Yeah,
Yeah,
that first
that's fair.
arc,
100%.
I was just like, I know I had to remind myself when I got done watching the third one that this is a slow burn show.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and it in its very nature is a slow burn show. It has to be because of what they're doing, the style of it, all of it has to be a slow burn. So when they're having their standoff on Yavin, and you don't really know it's Yavin until
Right.
like the end of the episode, which I kind of had a feeling it might be.
Yeah, it needed to be if they wanted to make that connection.
Yeah, it felt that for me. I was like, you know what? I don't really need all this. I thought that was kind of meh. But after that, it was pedal to the metal. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just go, go, go. Like that's when we really started getting into the I have friends everywhere thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's just so much going on with Bix. I mean, all of it was when it's all said and done, I look back at it and go, these were some of the most perfect story arcs. I'm going to just say it, not just in Star Wars, I think ever.
Period.
Because
Dude.
you know how many movies have like crap and TV shows have just absolutely crappy story arcs.
Mhm.
I mean, we were talking about like How I Met Your Mother and Friends a minute ago. I can go to The Office.
Sure.
There's all kinds of shows out there that have god awful story arcs.
Yeah.
And this didn't have a single bad one.
Mhm.
Not one.
Yeah.
And it's impressive that Gilroy pulled that off.
Here's kind of what I realized and I'm with you especially the first 2 episodes of season 2, slow paced. Episode 3 for me, I loved. I think I gave that one a really, really high review as well. But even those slower paced, admittedly maybe boring here and there episodes, you could still tell that they were so well crafted and so well done. And you knew because Gilroy was behind the scenes, you knew it was eventually going to build up to something. So there was payoff in that slow burn. All right, Zach, what were your overall thoughts?
Right there with you guys. We're talking high quality H2O here. And not only
quality H2O.
Well, to DJ's point, it ain't just high quality Star Wars. We're talking best of the best TV shows I think I've ever seen. That's the level we're at here.
Yeah.
Not just the take Star Wars out of it. We're talking the writing, the camera work, the special effects, like all of those things.
The costumes in this season too.
Oh, the costume work. The music was actually also awesome.
Oh,
like, dude,
tears.
I am blown away by this show, and I can't stop talking about it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm literally at work. Like, hey, you guys seen Andor? Anybody seen that?
I'm trying to convince everyone to watch Andor. Like, if you love Star Wars, this is so good.
It's the perfect show for people our age.
Yeah,
really, because like it's like what we said. I think I remember going way back. You know, Zach, you would say stuff like, I would love an HBO type of Star Wars project. And I remember thinking, no, that's a terrible idea. And so I was really skeptical with Andor as it was the first season, as it was coming out. I was like, I don't know about this. And then by the time it was done, I was like, this is some of the best stuff I've ever seen, period. And then now and then we just said it, but by the time we finish season 2, you kind of step back and go, why is this so freaking good?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like to me. There's a part of me, and I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan. There's a part of me that's like, it's just Star Wars. It should not be this good.
I'm right there with you. That's what I mean. Like it surprises me how good it is.
Yes. Like I have a weird tier system in my brain for how good something is, and I'm not gonna. This is gonna be shocking to you guys, but maybe to somebody else. I gauge if something's that good by Lord of the Rings. Okay. Now hear me out on this. Once or twice a year, if I can pull it off, I will rewatch all 3 extended editions after I've watched all the behind the scenes. That's just because there's like 16 hours behind the scenes per movie. So it's ridiculous. I do that like once or twice a year. And that's just because I love those movies that much. I can see myself sitting down and rewatching Andor and Rogue One 2-3 times a year because they're that good.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely.
I don't understand why, because it's just freaking Star Wars. It shouldn't be that good, and it has been. I don't know,
dude. Like we're talking. So my gauge on everything TV is Game of Thrones. That's my line in the sand of peakness. That and Breaking Bad. Now Breaking Bad's kind of in a weird thing on its own that I don't know if will ever be touched. But man, and like I can't. The only thing I have to say about this season negatively is the stupid Yavin arc on the beginning.
I'm with you.
That still dumb. Even after
The first
watching
2 episodes,
season 2,
yes.
kind of useless to me.
I think we. Sorry, go ahead.
No, whoa, hold on now.
You're ready.
No,
You're ready.
just kidding.
I can tell you're ready to cook.
No. What all I was going to say on that is like, I thought, maybe they would turn into something else. That was useless to me. However, it still was like good. It's not like bad, if that makes sense. But man, arcs, what? I guess it'd be 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. I don't know.
Speechless.
All right,
I'm bad
let's
at
rank them. What's your ranking of the arcs?
Oof.
Because I got mine easily.
3, 4, 2, 1.
That's me. That's me.
That's
me.
Where I'm at.
Whatever the Gorman one is, that's the top.
Yes,
3.
That's 3.
Like I didn't, man.
That's BBY 2.
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel when I got done with all that.
Dude,
like
I
there
was
a part
destroyed.
of me. I like because they all have French accents. The whole time I was like, this feels like a World War II drama. And so,
that was their intent. That was their intent. 100%.
Like, I loved it. It reminded me of Band of Brothers, but like from a different perspective. I don't know, man. It was just such a weird feeling. I was like, I should not feel this way at all about Star Wars.
Agreed.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep coming back to that. So Gorman's definitely up top, but that final arc was big too.
Yeah, it was
so good, man.
Like, okay, I'm gonna throw it out there because no one said it yet. I want to.
Okay.
Cassian has a child.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Like
crazy.
So I saw something to see him in some sort of show they tie him into. I'm Andor's kid.
He's gonna be. I guarantee you, he'll be tied into some weird.
Andor season 3, the Sun.
And it's like I don't want it either. I think it needs to stay that way.
I think it's absolutely beautiful the way they.
But I know that won't happen. I know it won't because it's Bix's twin sons moment, if you will.
It is.
It's the binary sunset. It's that moment for Cassian too. Like, and I don't know, man. Like, they're going to do something with it. They're gonna have that child is going to become somebody. They have to.
I don't want to
DJ.
at all. Don't
throw
that out there in the ether, man.
Everybody was saying that. What are you talking about? Like,
I saw people saying that's Poe Dameron. I'm like, no, stop this.
No,
somebody didn't read the comics.
Please
like
don't.
Charles Scholes settled that.
DJ, the comics don't matter, baby.
Hold on, DJ. Tony Gilroy didn't read the
Tony Gilroy said
comics.
The comics.
You are not wrong. But Poe's parents shacked up on Endor after the second Death Star.
Of course they did.
Sure.
Okay.
Because what else are you gonna do?
Until it doesn't work.
It's true.
We need a movie. Yeah. No. For real though, like I hope we don't see that kid again, which sounds hateful, but like I just thought that was a perfect way to end it.
I'm with you.
It's not a real person.
Like, just let it marinate right there. Oh wow.
No.
And then boom, done. I know we've missed a bunch in the chat.
Let's hit the chat real quick.
So Kay says the Maya Pay rebels were super annoying, but they're there to show leaderless and unorganized versus ultra organized.
Yes,
I get it.
That was
right.
The point. That was the point of the story, but
way too long.
Yeah,
give me them one episode. Andor kills them all, or whatever kills them all, and we move on.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I felt like he didn't know what to do with Andor because we get this like prototype thing, which was sick, and then it's like, now what do we do with this? I didn't
understand that.
No namer that
I'm dying.
I didn't understand with any of that. What was the purpose of him even stealing that ship? Because it never comes back up.
I think it was just a mission that Luthen had given him, and obviously because things went wrong, that it just couldn't carry out.
Useless. That's what he's trying to say. It's useless. So.
Okay.
It was a cool ship, though.
It was a cool moment.
It was a cool scene too. Like way to start the season. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I'm dying laughing at Gavin's chat that said Andor being peak, the rise of Skywalker, General Hux. I'm the spy.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring our vibes down. All right,
dude. That has been actually seriously an on-topic thing. Real quick, one of my favorite comparisons throughout Andor season 2 is like, people would compare the writing of this show to other Star Wars projects. And like, look, I'm not one of those guys who's going to sit here and say Lucas writing was peak. Okay, like yes, he established everything that we have. I'm flowers where they're due. Gilroy took that and did something different with it that made it peak. I don't know how,
Yeah.
but it's to a point now where it's surpassed. I'm going to say something controversial.
Come on. Say it.
It's surpassed Return of the Jedi status. At minimum.
Easy.
At minimum.
I'm with you.
I'm not going to put it above Empire because I don't want to be crucified.
In terms of writing, this blows all of that out of the water, my guy.
I was going to say this.
In terms of writing,
for me, Empire is worthy of the discussion, but all other Star Wars projects Andor.
Empire is only worthy because the movie and the I Am Your Father is such a good twist. But if it wasn't there, I ain't even bringing it up in this discussion.
Well, okay, I can't argue that.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah,
I never thought that. Like I've been in situations where I've been around people speaking a foreign language to me and also singing. Weirdly enough, so that part of that episode hit me in a weird emotional spot where it felt like I was revisiting a place I'd been to in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but at the same time, I didn't know what was going on because it's not a real language. The subtitles are there, of course, but like the valley, they're talking about like these places. I'm like, I've not been there, but I will die for this country right now. I was just,
how dare you? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
So good.
I think we need to talk about Galactic Cantina's question. So who and where is his sister? Because that was a little hanging fruit thing that they did in season 1, and in season 2 we don't get any mention of it other than doesn't he have a dream in the final
before he leaves, he dreams of her.
Yeah. Gilroy addressed that.
Okay, what did he say?
So I don't remember what or who he was talking to. It could have been Variety or maybe Hollywood Reporter. I can't remember, but he did an interview, video interview. You know, it's out there. These characters are supposed to represent something that Cassian is missing within himself to give him the drive to do what needs to be done.
100%.
So not having his sister, okay, that only catapults him to become Luthen's guy in season 1. That's all that is. His mom dying at the end of season 1 catapults him to continue to be Luthen's guy, but to fight for something a lot bigger than himself. It's not just working with Luthen because he hates the Empire. It's now, by the time you get to the end of season 2, you're like, Cassian's like about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's here for it. So all of those kinds of things represent what he doesn't have, so that, I guess, to kind of put a nice bow on it, to represent something that other people don't have or that he doesn't have, so other people can have it.
Right.
It's kind of the hope for tomorrow, if you will.
Yeah, but I saw where Gilroy was like, she's way more interesting not there. I thought that was worded very well. Because that's true. Like,
I remember that one too. Yeah.
He's like, what are we going to do? Sierra working at the McDonald's? And I think that's a great point. It's like, I think she's better not there. Like, that makes him way more interesting because she's like looming, you know?
I think it's another tragic piece to the story too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, the story of Andor is a bit tragic.
I mean, obviously he's dreaming about her still, so he didn't forget about her. You know what I mean? He's still thinking about her.
Who's to say that once he's done with this mission, he'll have the goal of trying to go after her again or something? But I will say, because I just recently rewatched season 1, I think one of the final episodes in there, or not final, because it was when his mom was still alive. She said, "Quit looking for your sister. It's a waste of time."
She did say that.
And I think it kind of clicked at that moment for him. Like, yeah, she's probably right. So I think that kind of addressed that situation.
Sorry, boys. I just got a Charlie horse.
I can tell. Something's going on.
It came out
there.
of nowhere.
Yeah, that's all right.
I think it's the first time I've
said. I think this gave me more of an HBO vibe. It didn't really give me the nostalgia. Mando gave me more of a Star Wars vibe. I think you nailed that, and I think I completely agree.
And
and I think that's good. That's not a bad thing. Like, hot take, of course, here, but like, I don't think it always needs to be that warm and fuzzy nostalgia, magical space stuff.
Well,
like,
because this is gritty. This is like Star Wars for the everyday man.
Yeah. That I think that's why it was better, or that's why it worked, because it was that theme.
Yeah.
You know, that HBO type theme where
Well,
it's
and-
serious. People are getting gunned down, and it's like bad stuff's happening.
Yes.
I wouldn't want it to feel happy go lucky, the Force, yada yada. You know, with that going down. So I think you nailed it for sure.
When we had said before that if Skeleton Crew exists and we're going to have shows like that, then we also have to be open to getting Andor, a more serious show. That's the beauty of Disney Plus. You can address different levels of the fan base.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I remember a time whenever like I felt like, and I think a lot of people felt this way, every Star Wars project had to have a lightsaber moment. And like people would say that's what makes Star Wars Star Wars. Like I heard that on so many podcasts. And I'm probably guilty of saying it. I don't remember, but I probably said it. It's weird when you watch Andor because you don't get a lightsaber until the end of Rogue One. Like if you really care about Star Wars for the sake of like lightsabers, you're not going to get that.
You're not getting it. You're not getting it in this trilogy that I declared as the best.
I think if you're going to go trilogy based, it's really, really hard to argue that it's not.
It's a no-brainer.
From beginning to end.
I feel like it's sacrilegious to put it above the original trilogy.
Well,
I understand that. I understand that. But
Like,
I think
I don't
Caleb's
know.
definitely right here. I mean, they're.
I'll let you know in a year.
I don't want to say they're bulletproof because obviously there are episodes, as we discussed, it's not perfect. But
some people have said that Rogue One only exists to fill the plot holes of A New Hope. Like people say that years ago. They said, okay, well, why is there a gigantic hole in the Death Star that anybody could blow it up?
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's a guy who had a daughter. Okay, well, what about this other? It just keeps going back to fill in those plot holes, if you will. I don't think they're plot holes.
It makes New Hope even funnier to me because it's like I text Keller this. The random farm boy comes along with this ridiculously deep rebellion we know all about now. Goes, yeah, I got this, and then blows the whole thing up that we just found out about like 5 days ago.
Just because he used to shoot.
Just because he uses this like magical religion that no one knows about. It's crazy.
I wasn't even going to mention that. He just used to shoot womp rats with his T-16.
Yeah, exactly.
Just some random kid. It's like it's a little bit like an American Sniper or Sergeant York kind of thing. There's this good old country boy who used to shoot rattlesnakes and not leave his weapon out in the woods. Now can go and become a terrorist killer. Like it's ridiculous, but it happens in Star Wars. Why can't it happen in Star Wars? I don't know. It can. It did. Whatever.
I like to imagine that like Clea and Vel are in the audience on Yavin 4 when they all get the medals and they're just rolling their eyes. Like these dudes just showed up. This isn't fair.
They're probably I imagine they're really humble, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm just saying, like for fun.
You know, some people in that rebellion, like I've been doing this, been living on this freaking planet.
Years old.
Yeah, I've actually been here for 6 years. You're like go get your freaking moisture from your farm.
Yeah, exactly.
And who's this guy? He's got a talking bear. No, I'm just kidding.
And like, no, for real though, like I watched Rogue One like directly after at like 2 a.m. By the way, like I immediately watched this movie. I'm crying, dude. I was crying at the end of Andor. I'm crying through Rogue One. It's just awesome.
It's good. It's good stuff.
I think that's a whole nother kind of bracket of how it made Rogue One better. Like, how do you do that so good? How do you make such a good TV show and then make this other thing even way better? It's mind-boggling.
I think that we've peaked in storytelling.
I completely agree. I feel bad for Mando and Grogu. I'm gonna have to go in and go check it out the door.
Follow-up.
Forget Star Wars as a whole. My dad and I were really close. He's the guy that got me into movies. Okay, I will sit around with him and we'll talk about not just Star Wars but all kinds of movies. And he said to me not too long ago, he goes, I think that we're done with good stories. I think there are just no more stories left to tell, is what he said. And I was like, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's no more stories to tell. And I think he meant this, really what he was getting at is we're oversaturated with our stories that we get. Like, I just started watching Ted Lasso like this week, okay? Ted Lasso is some of the best TV comedy ever, period. I'm only a season into it, and I think that. When I compare that to Andor, it's crap. But Andor is so flipping good. I think it's like, when I say it's peak, I mean we have peaked. This is it. This is the pinnacle. every piece of storytelling from now on has two options: somehow be better than that, or you're just going to outright suck forever. That's what it is.
It's
There's
crazy you
no
say that
between.
because that's how Game of Thrones has always been for me. Maybe not the
Okay.
last season, but like if anything I watch, I go, is it Game of Thrones level? Like that's where my
seasons 1 through 7.
yeah, like that's in my pinnacle. And I gotta say, like Andor is just it's close, man.
I think it's there, honestly,
it's
because of
really,
its ability to stick the landing so
I
well.
was just about to say it doesn't overstay its welcome. It goes
Now,
like, hey,
I will
here's my
say,
story, here it is, and it's legit.
Andor
Boom.
Andor had the foreknowledge of what was coming after it too, so like that helps. Game of Thrones, the source material completely ran out, and there's zero stories out there to help them get to a certain point. So it's two totally different situations, but I'm kind of right there with you, Zach.
Yeah.
One other thing that I wanted, well, not one other thing. There's plenty of other things still left to talk about regarding Andor season 2. But actually, let's do this for the first arc 1 through 3. Is there anything left that y'all recall from that BBY4 arc that we haven't hit on? I know in that arc we had like the Bix moment with the Imperial officer dude, the lieutenant,
The doctor.
obviously the haunting that she's still dealing with from
all of that crap. Yeah.
and we had Brazo dying, R.I.P. Brazo. We had the video conference / I'm going to show you on the projector screen this Gorman spider knowledge meeting with Krennic on his little secret base. I don't know. That was really
awesome.
cool. And rewatching that, knowing what comes, beautiful. Anything left in that first arc that y'all want to share regarding?
I'm glad you
spoilers?
brought up the Krennic thing because
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's back, man.
Absolutely.
And Galactic in the chat says, I think we missed out seeing Galen Erso. I completely agree with that. I'm not a cameo lover in any way like that. It would make sense that we would. I take it back. I don't know if it would make sense, but like I wouldn't have been upset if he was in this show because it would make sense in terms of chronologically, him being involved somewhere. But him getting with the ISB, like they're trying to be secret, so why would he show up? I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I thought that Krennic stuff was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Is that the way we get the Calcite and the Calcite?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't really get what I guess maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't really understand what material those spider things were making that were needed for the Death Star.
Oh, I don't think it has anything to do with the spiders or making it. It's just in the planet.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever it was, though, I still felt I was like, why? What am I missing? I felt like I was like,
well,
what is like? Because in Rebels, it was great. They found a gigantic piece of kyber crystal
that becomes calcite.
I have no idea. Like that's all over my head. I must have
calcite, synthetic calcite. I think it's that stuff that he's hunting.
That
they're needing.
But what is it? What does it do?
Like,
what's
know.
it for?
Oh, I don't know.
Something with the Death Star. Something with the Death Star.
They didn't say. They don't.
This proves how big of a Star Wars nerd I am, because like there's always an extra detail layer for no reason at all in Star Wars. I don't need to know what calcite is for. I just need to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It'll be in some book or
I'm a Star Wars.
encyclopedia or something. It's coming in.
That's true.
But one of the things that I appreciate regarding Andor is it treats its audience smart enough to figure out that it's utilized for the Death Star, and you don't need that spelled out for you. And I greatly appreciate that regarding Andor.
I've told my buddy here who I work with now, he's not a Star Wars fan. He could care less. But I was like, hey, would you like a show that's about espionage and people blowing up? And he goes, yes. And I said, okay, it's a Star Wars show. He goes, I'm out. I'm like, no, listen, you don't have to know anything about Star Wars to watch this.
Yeah. And even when he said it's a Disney Plus show, they're like,
yeah.
I've had people go like,
no.
I've told him, he goes, on Disney Plus. I'm like, yeah, but it's awesome. Like, go watch it.
And what's crazy is I immediately follow up with, we're talking HBO level. I always
that's what I said.
I
said it, but my buddy's wife goes, but can I watch it with the kids? I'm like,
no.
Nah. There's probably 15% of the show you can't watch with the kids. But everything else, they're like, okay.
I want to give a shout out real quick to Tiff and Imperial Activity / RFB that have been joining us in the chat. Appreciate the support that both of you have continued to give. Mando Talk and now eventually Caleb's Cantina, baby.
Boom.
Okay, so are we ready for Arc 2 then?
Yeah, I don't know of anything else in Arc 1.
So in Arc 2 though, this is where my mind goes straight to. Revolution's not for the sane. I loved Saul Guerrera's little speech there at the end. I think that's episode 6. So I skipped all the way to the very end of the arc. But I loved that moment. Might be one of the best acted moments that I recall in a minute until we get to the back half of season 2. There's some special stuff there. But yeah, I loved Saul Guerrera's role in this season, and I love that little subplot that we got. Let's see what else was in there. Cassian going to Gorman and being like, "Nah, y'all aren't ready for this."
Was that when
I'm
he's
out.
like the designer guy?
Yes,
I like that.
Varian Sky.
I thought that was
I
awesome.
like
I
that
loved seeing Andor, be the spy. He's playing the role, he's playing the game, and secretly talking to these people. And we're getting the new storyline of what's his name, the Imperial guy with Deidre.
Cyril.
Cyril. Yeah, we're getting the Cyril stuff now. That's
Dude.
Is that 2?
Yeah, that's arc 2, where he's an ISB plant to.
Yeah, dude,
to
that's
make
like
the
one of my
Gorman
favorite
rebels
parts
believe
of
in.
that arc was
Yeah.
like him actually doing stuff and
Dude.
being naive and like.
So funny when Partagaz says, "Good job, Cyril," and he walks out and he's like, "This might be the best day of my life."
Yeah, exactly. Like I couldn't help, but like a little bit of me is just like, brother, you're getting played, man.
Dude,
they
he's
don't care about you.
Oh man, he has the worst, like overall ending. I feel like you want to talk. The Empire did that to so many people. Like you could. Here's a thought, and it just came to me. He's a really good Anakin Skywalker parallel. When you think about it, he's this dude who got played. That's who Anakin is. He got played.
Yeah.
The dark side was clearly involved.
Although everyone knows who Anakin / Darth Vader was, but
yeah.
Cyril, who are you?
But yeah, dude, that
Brutal.
actually hurt. That hurt me. I was like, I didn't know I cared about this fool that much.
Yeah.
Who are you? He
It
has
took
no
me
idea.
out. I was like, oh, what?
He had no idea.
We're seeing them, but Cassian doesn't know who this dude.
Well,
We're getting ahead. We're getting ahead.
He held a gun to his head in season 1, and didn't
From
even
behind.
remember. Yeah,
It was from behind. Yeah.
That much time has passed.
Right. Well,
Doesn't have a clue.
3 years.
And also, it just shows you
think-
Cyril is he's nothing. You're nothing.
Look, I've never held a gun to anybody's head, but I would remember if I had. And I think it's wild that Cassian's probably held a lot of guns to a lot of heads.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I think
that he
this
was
is
just
just like a Wednesday for our guy here. Like I just murder people every day.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw him when he's leaving with Mom Martha. He's like, "Who are you? Bam! Who are you? Bam! Bam!" This boy loves killing. Let me tell you. I take it back. He doesn't love it, but he does what he got to do. But going back to the Gorman stuff, I loved seeing him be a spy, like actually be this guy who can be a chameleon and kind of live in this world. He's still doing what Luthen tells him, kind of still being the puppet. I don't know. I just thought it was really, really interesting. But I definitely found the Cyril stuff probably my favorite piece of Arc 2. Surprisingly, because Cyril was like not even.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember his name after season 1. I'm like, this dude, whoever he is. But I thought Arc 2 was
I recently met a man named Cyril.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, Cyril, I know that name. Oh, Andor. Like I didn't tell this guy. He's like, first of all,
I always call him cereal.
He ate a lot of cereal. I think that works out.
He did.
When we first met Cyril, I thought his last name is Karn.
Yes.
And I remember the meme. It's Karn.
Oh, yeah.
That was
That's right.
big.
That was going. Yep.
And I was just like, he's Karn. I said that every time I saw him until
like I feel like he would love that. That's the type.
He would.
Cyril,
he is that kind. He's the guy. He's the guy who definitely embraces.
I feel so bad, man. His whole life, he's just been trying, and then he just not.
Mm-hmm.
He
thought the Empire was good, and he got a little selfish.
I blame his mom.
I mean, I think that's
also. I hate his mom.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I hate his mom.
Completely agree.
I hate his mom more than I hate The Last Jedi. I hate his mom.
Now I did have sympathy for her there at the end when she got emotional, but
I had zero sympathy. I'm gonna tell you
I did
why.
feel
let
bad.
Me tell you why I have zero sympathy for this mother. Okay, she set him up with that job that led him to his death. It's her fault. She's a crap mom. All right.
Yeah. All
Fair.
right.
I think you're right.
Now
but-
I am right.
I goofed because I forgot about episode 6. That's when Bix kind of overcomes her addiction that she's dealing
Big
with,
moment.
and
Big
she has
moment.
that moment and kills Dr. Gorst.
Mm.
Dude, I got
One of-
so many chills when that happened.
One of my favorite Star Wars explosions ever.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, and because she's walking out and she's just doing this on her own, and you're thinking, oh, dude, is she gonna die killing this dude? Because she's completely alone. And then you see
Mhm.
Cassian walk into frame, and they both just smile and blow
Well,
up.
I got a weird take on
Let's
this.
go.
It was
Did
like a
it not
Mr. and
feel
Mrs.
out of
Smith
nowhere?
thing. No,
What's that?
It felt completely out of nowhere.
No,
to
no,
me.
no, 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 no,
no,
no.
not at all.
Earlier in that episode, that light
Tell me.
starts flashing. Of
Yeah.
we need you to come do this.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
That's the mission that Luthen was giving them.
Oh, see, I thought they were going rogue. I'm
No,
like,
no.
what are we doing here?
Because I thought
Okay,
the
so
same
lost.
thing. I thought the same thing. But then on
I
a
was just
second
like,
watch,
I guess she just pissed and wants to kill this guy. Okay.
well, hey, sure, go for it.
That's why I was like, oh, I mean, that's cool.
Well,
but-
how many people out there, if given the opportunity in reality, were able to get revenge on their attacker, would they do it?
Well,
You
that's
know?
why I thought they were just doing it. They're like, hey, we're leaving the spot or whatever. It's blown. So I'm going to go kill this guy while I'm here. Like, that's what I thought was happening. But it does make it cooler that Luthen, I guess, told them to.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like Luthen throwing a bone to Bix a little bit, because Bix is
That makes
there
sense.
that whole arc. She's like, "Oh, you only need Cassian. I get it."
Oh, yeah,
Like,
because Luthen came and talked to her.
yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
Luthen throws her, and not throws her a bone, but like it's clear he's been keeping tabs on this dude on behalf, maybe, of Bix. So it's kind of cool to be like, "Hey, I got a mission for you. Psh, go."
But wait a minute. I also forgot about another plug in there, though. Partagas comes in and tells those two ISB dudes that they're about to make the Emperor wants to make a program out of Dr. Gorse's intimidation
you're right.
tactics. So
You're
that's
right.
that's what makes Luthen care about it. He's like, no, we got to get rid of that.
Because
that's gonna cause some issues.
The ISB rat dude, he was one of the guys, right?
Right. He's
Oh
the
my
one that
gosh.
informs. He's the one that informs Luthen. So yes, maybe Luthen
God, the
has
writing.
Luthen has a small piece of care for Bix,
He doesn't
but
care
really,
about Bix. He
but
wants
really
to kill this
it's
guy
with
because of
rebellion
that.
issues.
You're right. You're right.
It's a little bit of both. It's a
That's.
little,
I mean, you might be a little right. Just
It's
to keep
about
Cass
80,
insane,
80-20.
maybe, but like,
definitely 80-20.
like, wow, dude, yeah, okay, that makes
It's
me feel
kinda-
way better because I was like, this is cool, but I can't enjoy it because I don't know where did this come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
Episode 6, this is another important thing that we need to talk about, is also when we have the very tense what's the plate
the
thingy?
sculpture, the plate.
sculpture.
Oh
It's
yeah,
it's
come
like a
on,
book.
baby.
Yeah.
That party, we have Cinta dying, and then we also need to discuss this because this was a big
I forgot
conversation.
about Cinta.
Is we need to talk about Bail Organa being recast and how
Eh.
they handled that.
Loved it.
I
I'll
did
be
too.
honest.
I
I'll be
loved
honest with you. I think I like this dude more as Bail Organa than I do
Say
Jimmy
it.
Smith.
Say
I
it.
really
'cause
do.
You're right.
Like, I was a little like unsure about it, and then there was an interview with Gilroy that got dropped somewhere between this arc and the next arc.
Yeah,
And somebody said, "Well, we did this to kind of tease up what he's going to do
perfect.
in the next few episodes." Now, I will give, man, this is one of those great like Star Wars things that maybe you noticed it, maybe you didn't. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so
That's okay.
forgive me a little bit, but it's great that he was in the same wardrobe as Jimmy Smits in Rogue One. There at the end, it's the same wardrobe, same. I was like, thank you for doing that. It bridges that gap so perfectly. Having said that, I don't actually know this actor's name. I should have looked it up. but
Benjamin Bratt, I believe.
Benjamin Bratt should be Bail Organa from here on out.
Mm.
I loved Jimmy Smits in Revenge of the Sith. I loved him in Kenobi and Rogue One. I'm glad he did it. I'm glad that Lucasfilm, even with this project, tried. They really did, because they
tried
said
to get
Jimmy.
him. Yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy Smith had something else going on, and I'm like, look, if it's Star Wars, I'm dropping everything. I'm doing it. That's me. He didn't do that. That's okay. Benjamin.
well, contract. I think it was something with Dexter. Is what
Okay.
I'd heard.
I was talking to someone else about this. I think the reason I like Benjamin Bratt more, I believed he could lead this rebellion or be part of this kind of cutthroat rebellion. I didn't believe that with the other Bale. He's too like kind looking. I don't know that like he was fine, but then when we got Benjamin Bratt, I'm like, why do I like this so much more? And it's
It
because
fits the aesthetic.
to be. Yeah, I believed him. To
That's
be
what
a
I was gonna say.
rebellious guy.
I think
don't know.
Benjamin
Weird.
Bratt fits this story.
Yeah.
If this is the tone that they go whenever, if ever Bail Organa shows up somewhere, Benjamin Bratt should be the dude to play him. If it's
Completely
this
agree.
tone, if it's this tone. Now, prequel vibes.
No.
Jimmy Smits was perfect.
Yeah, I think that if you're gonna put like, oh, you're saying like in the past,
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying if we're gonna retell some story from a prequel-ish era, like Kenobi, we get Jimmy
Right.
Smith. But I don't think we need to at this point.
Okay.
We've got this guy in Benjamin Bratt who just he pulled it off.
Yeah.
He didn't just pull it off. He like elevated it.
Yeah,
somehow.
he did great. He did
I don't
really
He
know.
great.
made Bail Organa like cool, like feel
Yeah,
cool to
yeah,
me.
I never thought Bail Organa was cool ever.
Exactly.
Shout out to Oscar in the chat saying Elizabeth Duala killed it this season. You're gonna have to let me know who that is, Oscar.
I think that's Clay. No, it's Luthen's
Clea?
daughter girl.
Clea.
Is it Clea?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. I
Is
think.
that her?
I think.
Can
that's
you
her.
believe this was her first show
That's
ever?
insane.
First,
Ever.
he's so good.
And you know what? I immediately drew. This is where the Lord of the Rings vibe comes in. I drew an immediate parallel to Orlando Bloom because Lord of the Rings was his first project, right out of acting school. So it's weird. Like you get these, like you think, okay, fresh out of acting school, is this guy or lady gonna suck or what? No, like this. She
Dude,
killed it.
I hope
Like,
she's a mega star. She was.
She
awesome.
needs to be. She needs to do. Here's what I think she needs to do. She needs to do one more major IP franchise, one more, and then never touch another franchise again. Because you get like these people like I'll use Orlando Bloom. You got him. He's Will Turner. He's Legolas. He'll never be known for anything else. But because of those projects, he can go off and do whatever the heck he wants. That's what this lady should do, or this girl, whatever. She should go off and do one more IP, get one Marvel movie in, call it a day, and do whatever the heck she wants. Do an A24 film, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Fair.
that's what she should do.
She's awesome, man.
She was.
I blown away by that. But so
Anything else from that
two-
arc? Yeah, 4 through 6.
I'm trying to remember everything that happened.
I know.
TJ
a
says
lot.
that he did not like
Tiff.
Jimmy Smith,
Mm.
Tiff. And did
Yeah,
not like.
Sorry.
Tiff.
Go ahead.
I just know TJ's Tiff.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. I see. It
Brad
said,
did
it
a great
said,
job.
there's two
We didn't talk
letters.
about the sculpture scene where
Oh, yeah,
Clea's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing
we do
out.
need to talk about that. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. Woo. Hey, well, hold on, fellas.
I
We
thought
haven't
they
even
were
talked
on.
about Mon Mothma yet. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Incredible this season. We should
You're
get
right.
smacked in the mouth.
We
What are
should.
talking about?
We should. We are an hour and
Right in
7.
the Mon Mouthma.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
I couldn't
Ah.
help it. It was right there.
Wow. Do you take
Listen.
this character that I literally, could be a boring one-off character and make her this deep and complex and
She-
amazing? Oh,
I so appreciate. Is it Genevieve O'Reilly? Right?
Yes.
correct.
Yes. I saw somebody at a fan convention brought her their Return of the Jedi DVD case from like 05. Had her sign it, and she goes, "You know, I was cut from this movie, right?" She goes, "They go, yeah, but you're in the deleted scenes." And she was like, "So what?" And she's like, "They said, no, you will always be Mon Mothma." And she was just so humbled by that, you
She's
know.
like, Star Wars people are crazy. I see.
Yeah, but at the same, she was so appreciative because she's like, I had 6 seconds of screen time 20 years ago, and you want me to sign this? And I think it just hit her all at once. Like,
Yeah.
these people actually care deeply, not about just the character and the story, but me personally. And so for them to just bring her back, not only for this project, but even go back to Rogue One. She voiced in Rebels, which tied into this show too.
She was in Ahsoka.
That's
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
forgot about that. I
So
did.
I think she'll still be around in this main.
Spoiler alert, she
story
doesn't
they
do a
want.
great job because they
Well,
lose
the writing's different.
whatever. Well, no. I just mean
Oh, you're talking
the
about
First Order comes
the,
up and
the story of it. Okay.
yeah. But I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Here's
Right.
if we're gonna see Mon Mothma again, if you want more Andor, okay, let's say we get Andor-esque stuff. Okay, I have no idea what I just did with my hands. We do a series between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
That'd be great.
Mon Mothma, main character, introduce the Bothan spies. That's all we need to do.
Mm.
And
That'd
just
be
I don't
make-
even know what that is, but it
That'd be
sounds
fun.
cool.
That'd be
You
fun.
don't know about the Bothan spies?
Nah,
Many Bothans died.
He's not that guy.
brother,
Not-
you lost me. Sounds
Just go watch
Star Warsy.
Go watch Mon Mothma scene in Return of the Jedi, and you'll be fine.
You'll get it.
Yeah, but if they just do that, that's what it needs. That's Mon Mothma. Just call the series Mothma.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. Do it. It's going to be too good. That's what they need to do in Jennifer Riley.
I agree.
She's amazing.
She is. I was gonna say.
Is arc 1 where she like
the wedding.
The wedding, yeah. Where she
So
like has her buddy gets murked.
Tay has to get. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you notice that the floating Bluetooth speaker looked like the Death Star?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Just making sure I wasn't the only one.
I just thought
dang.
Disco Ball. I didn't think Death Star, but
What up, Will? Will of the Force says a series
remember Will of
between
the Force.
Empire and Return of the Jedi. I could smell shadows of the Empire from miles away.
Oh, Dash Rendar goes off for Mon Mothma. I'm all for that.
Yeah. Give it
Dash
to me.
Rendar's crew is like Clea and all these other Andor people. Bring them all back for a family reunion. Do it.
Agreed. I was just gonna say before we go into, I guess, Arc 3. I feel awful that we didn't bring up Mon Mothma because outside of Cassian, she's my favorite character in this show. She's so
I
good.
think I agree.
I can't disagree with you.
So good. Okay. Now, my favorite arc. I kid you not, guys. When episode 8 ended, I happened to be watching it in bed. It was like super late at night. I sat up in my bed and I start sobbing. And Maddie looks at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, not at all." I have never felt those emotions watching Star Wars before. Not like that overwhelming sadness. I've never gotten that out of Star Wars. Just that is something that I wish I could experience watching for the first time again. Just like similar to, I compare it to like experiencing Rey force moving the lightsaber to her in The Force Awakens for the first time. That's what that was, but maybe even up a notch, honestly. What'd y'all think of that moment? The Gorman arc, if you will.
Go ahead, Zach.
I mean, we're talking peak here, fellas. DJ's talking peak. This is the peak. We're at the tippity. I was blown away. I don't have the words for this. Like, I had like I knew where we were going with this. Like, it's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that incredibly bad and that incredibly emotion filled, if that's the word. I cared. I somehow cared for these people, and I felt so bad. And the way they shot it in the Empire, that's the Empire I've been wanting to see for my whole life. We're talking scary. Mm-hmm. We're talking the people who I could believe that took over the galaxy, if that makes sense. Like, they just used them as play toys, and they set them up perfectly.
Yep.
Like, they had the news channels out there. Oh, no, we've got all these rebels talking about the Gormans, or the Gores, or whatever you call them. And
we are the Gore. The galaxy is watching.
Dude. And then you got the sniper at the top taking out his own dude to incite the thing. Oh, and then the K2 units come out. Oh,
yeah, that was so good, man.
Oh, and everybody's chanting. Dude, I feel like I didn't breathe that whole episode.
Me either.
It was locked in.
This is the episode that really, I texted Caleb, and now that I'm thinking about it, we should have just had a group chat going this whole season.
Probably.
But I texted Caleb, and I was like, okay, this is the greatest show that Star Wars, this is the greatest show ever. Like, ever, relative. But like, it's just in its own camp. And I when I got done watching Gorman, and I just now real quick went over to Disney Plus and just kind of scrubbed through the episode just to kind of collect my thoughts. It's so many things. Okay. It's the French Revolution. Like, I went and saw Les Mis when it came out in the theater forever ago. Listen, it's a musical. It's boring. If you want to watch it, go ahead.
love musicals, man. So
I'm cool with a lot of them. That one was tough, but like that's my knowledge of the French Revolution. Okay, that movie. Having said that, this episode was the French Revolution, and I'm not trying to get political. It was January 6th. It was the Boston Massacre. It was so many like little pieces of history that I'm familiar with. Add in the Cyril and Dedra stuff. It's really a love triangle. It's Dedra's love. It's their mutual love for the Empire and their supposed love for one another. I mean, it's what it is. So you're watching all of these things come together, Like there are entire movies, 3-hour movies that try to piece this kind of stuff together, and they can't do it.
Well,
And this man did it in 50
the
minutes.
the pacing of this episode. Zach, you mentioned earlier that we cared so much about these characters. That's why those slower paced episodes are so important.
They are.
Understanding what the Empire is doing there. That's why that episode 1 discussion of Krennic and their motives was put there.
I mean, Dedra says it in there. She's like,
right.
Have some dummy or perfect rebels that incite an incident. That's all we need.
And I don't know,
So
maybe this was just me, but the score that they gave throughout that episode, it just kind of elicited those emotions. And then also, again, back to the pacing, that roaring TIE fighter above the crowd.
Oh dude.
My gosh.
That's what I'm saying. The Empire was scary. Like
Yeah.
you would be afraid of them. They're going to kill us, is what you're thinking. Because that's how they should feel. They're the Empire. They're the Nazis. What are we talking about here?
It scared me like in a reality kind of way. I hate, like I've said this so many times on the show, I don't really like it when Star Wars gets real. But you cannot watch this show without letting reality creep in just a little bit. Like you can mention the Bix stuff, or you can mention the Gorman stuff in this season, and it's so wild watching it because like I have to take a step back and go, they're really doing way more than just putting, like even George Lucas said that he wrote Star Wars, 4, 5, and 6 as this kind of pseudo Vietnam thing. I don't even know what to call it. This feels very current.
Oh, dude. And that's why it's so poignant, because it is it feels real.
Because I think that like, excuse me, I think that like even Star Wars is coming up on 50 years old. Okay, let's just get 20 years down the road. Okay, 20 years down the road, we're all in our 50s because that's where I'll be. We'll be talking about Andor on Mando Talk season 4000, and we're gonna come back to Andor and go. I should say Caleb's Cantina season 4000, but shout out. But like we're gonna come back and go. Does it still feel relevant? Does it not? I think that because Star Wars has been here for so long. When Star Wars itself is 100 years old, are we going to say these things about Andor that we do?
Oh yeah,
as people who did not experience Vietnam,
watching
what are we going to say? And I think that the reality of that is kind of interesting to think about, critical thinking moment, if you will.
Sure.
But like, it's just kind of weird to me. That's what's so great about this. That's my point I'm trying to make here with the Gorman stuff. It's and you said it best, Zach. It's so poignant for the time, but it's also like it's still Star Wars. So you get the cool, like you guys talked about the TIE fighter. TIE fighter comes over the top. You're like,
wow,
it's the freaking TIE fighter. And then you go, but is it? Like, I don't know.
I'm like, are they about to drop a bomb on them?
I'm not trying to bring the mood down, and I may have. I apologize, but like, it's just so weird to me that this is what it's doing.
I agree though, because like, look, let's compare it. Am I going to care that Moff Gideon had a dark saber that was important to the Mandalorians? No, I won't, because I don't care.
I get it.
I forgot, right? But this, I go, you remember when they like massacred everybody, and they did it so meticulously and perfect, which sounds like in a bad way, but like perfect. And Dedra had to make the call, and Cyril's out there, and she goes, yeah, just do it anyway. Then you got the actual Empire dude who played it so good, and he's like, yes, finally, do it. Please shoot somebody.
And Dedra struggled. You could see the struggle. Like
big time.
That told you a lot about her. Like, she's not that heartless.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think it was.
She knows it's bad. Any human goes, this is not good.
Well, any human with a heart, like that's what separates her from Krennic and Tarkin and Vader.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
I read the Tarkin novel several years ago, and actually audiobooked it, but same thing. And is it though? Doesn't matter. Did that whole Tarkin thing, and you going through that story, you realize, man, this guy is straight up the devil. Like Tarkin is about as devilish as it gets. Like, it's Emperor, and then boom. If I can use a C.S. Lewis parallel, It's Satan, and then it's Uncle Screwtape. Like it's boom, boom, right there. Like that's how close it is. And then somewhere down here you got Krennic. Dedra thinks she's climbing the ladder. She gets to that pinnacle, if you will, and goes, nope, crawl down a little bit. Like I love that about her character in this because you like, oh, turns out she does have a heart. She's not just the Tin Man. You know, it's
and
great.
Then you have the ticker down, which is Cyril, who goes, "Oh no, this is bad, and I have been used, and they're gonna kill all these people, and maybe the Empire isn't all
right."
Cool.
He had that realization. Yeah.
Even people are like, "I was hoping you would join the rebellion." No, he's not there.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd ever.
Oh, he would never join the rebellion.
However, you can still recognize like maybe we're crossing the line with this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Agreed.
So good, man.
We also that's only one thing in this arc, which we could spend even more time talking about that. But we also have three other impactful moments for me. This is the moment where Cassian on Yavin 4 runs into the Force healer, and he's told that he's a messenger. That was very impactful. This is also obviously the arc in which Bix makes the ultimate decision to leave, and it was a critical decision. People were talking, that doesn't really make sense. Now that we know what we know, yeah, it makes sense, and that's painful. And then also, obviously, episode 9, the speech from Mon Mothma. We haven't even touched on that yet within this arc. That's why this arc is so good to me. It's always going to be top tier. It's not even close.
I know the last arc, Mon Mothma's speech.
No, it's episode 9. It's after the Gorman massacre.
Oh,
I actually thought that was the final episode of Andor.
Yeah, I remember you thinking that.
I had no idea there was a 10, 11, and 12 coming. So I texted Caleb and I was like, man, that might be some of the best Star Wars ever. He goes, yeah, I can't wait for the next arc. And I was like, what do you mean the next arc? It's over. He goes, no, dude, there's a 10, 11, and 12. Like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I went to bed that night being like, man, we're done. That's it. And then I woke up to that text from Caleb and I was like, oh my gosh, like my wife's already up making coffee. And I was like, there's 3 more. She goes, really? And I was like, yeah, I was wrong. I didn't know idea. And
that's incredible.
So, but watching that, you guys are Rebels hardcore. Like, or no, wait, Zach, did you watch Rebels? I can't remember.
I have seen Rebels. Hey-o.
Okay. So I know, Caleb, you're big on Rebels.
Big Rebels.
Love Rebels. So like, how did y'all, like, I like Rebels, but I'm not diehard like you guys are. So like, how did y'all feel about the tie-in to Rebels with Mothma's speech?
I mean, I watched that Rebels episode, I think the week before for some reason that came out.
Wow.
Just because I had heard that the Gorman arc was coming, and I remember there being a speech, or I had heard that Mon Mothma's speech was coming in the arc that was about to come out, and I knew that was in some way in relation to that Rebels episode, and I thought it was handled well, honestly, and I don't feel like the Rebels stuff has been negatively impacted at all. If anything, it's just been enhanced, so I was very appreciative of that.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, like, that was so good. It's like, I don't really care.
Right.
Like, even you could get sticky with like, oh, they were trying their best to be like, she's got to get on this ship with these random people to give a speech. Like, they were trying to make it tie in, but even if they didn't do that, I would have just been like, whatever.
Right.
Like that was so good getting him out of there, man.
Yeah.
But like, I can't believe that we got the Gorman Massacre, and then we got that episode.
I know.
Oh,
didn't they say that like these last 5 episodes are the highest back to back rated episodes of all time?
I saw that today, actually. On
wait, are you guys serious?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's like 9.8, 9.6.
First show ever.
I did not know that.
First show ever to have that high of a rating in 5 episodes in a row.
Crazy,
wow.
But deservedly,
news
dude.
To me.
I mean,
and we live in a world where critics are not going to give it a shot because it's Star Wars and Disney Plus.
Exactly.
And
that's
I have to go take a tinkle while y'all chew on that one.
Okay, it's like, dude, just so good, man. And Kay says it in the chat, like, Cyril was always for justice. He just realized too late the Empire maybe didn't work for justice. It's like, yeah, I think there's a bunch of people in the Empire that would be like that if this was like, talking human.
That makes the whole I had friends on that Death Star argument that's been a joke forever actually kind of legit.
Sure, because it's like this dude is just going. He's got a family. He needed a paycheck. He's working on this new job. They're happy. They just opened a new factory up in space, and hey, we're starting our job. Like
that's a little piece of Star Wars that probably doesn't need to be touched in that sense. Like,
I agree.
There's actually probably some innocent people on. Like, they had a whole cell block. It's not like Leia was the only prisoner. There, like,
exactly.
It's likely there were other rebellion. Like, it's kind of weird when you start going down that rabbit
hole. Andor
hole.
touches on that a little, right? I mean, like, think about her driver. Like, that dude had like a family probably, and he just gets murked. Like, because of the rebellion. It's tough. It's so good, man.
That's the beauty of the rebellion, though. The rebellion, they are meant to be, there's an interview that George Lucas did several years ago. I can't remember who. Oh, Stephen Colbert. And they were talking about the Vietnam thing and all that. And Lucas flat out Stephen Colbert, I'm sorry. He said to him, we have these rebels. Some people today would call them terrorists. And that's when Lucas says, well, in my day, we called them the Viet Cong. Yeah. And like you start putting that on and go, whoa, like
exactly.
George Lucas saw the world very differently than I see it personally.
Well, it's all perspective, man. All perspective. Yeah. That's what the show is. Yeah, I think Krennic says it, right? He's like, oh, you're rebels. I call them traitors or whatever he says, like.
I don't remember that specifically, but that is a common thread through Rebels and Andor across the board. You see that thread being
it's like, oh, your rebels are my terrorists, basically. And I just think that's a fascinating thing.
But
we're talking about The Last of Us. They do a really, really good job of that, which is talking about perspective. I don't want to get in, go off the rails, but just to say, like, it just puts it in perspective of perspectives. It's like, to Krennic, Gorman was just we got to get this done. Like, I need this stuff. Whatever you got to do, kill the planet, whatever. I don't care. I just got to get this stuff out of the ground. And that's just, I can't even fathom that, it's I just think it's fascinating.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do being put in that place. Like, if I'm in Star Wars and this is the decision I have to make, I think I would have a hard time. Like, truly. Like, I guess I could say that knowing both sides of the story.
And Kay says it like they say, I think Dedra may have felt bad about Gorman deep down, but she didn't know what else to do. She couldn't do anything else. If she doesn't they kill her or put her in, in jail or whatever.
She had backed herself into a corner.
Exactly. Like, you played the game. Here you are.
Yeah. I was going to say she became a slave to the system.
Oh, 100%. We'd see that. She goes into that room or whatever, and she's like doing the, which I think was an awesome touch to her, where she's like fixing her stuff and she's getting choked by the thing. Yep. So good acting right there.
This episode 8.
I used to feel
y'all
that
talking
way
episode 8, yeah, Dedra.
Yeah. I used to feel that way taking like standardized state tests every year in school. Like, I would always feel like I have to do this thing with my shoulders and like wear a loose shirt because I would get so nervous. And obviously, state testing versus killing people, not the same thing.
Well, just give yourself locking back in, basically, right? Like, okay, I got to be this person. I can't be crying and doing all this stuff.
It's a mask, and that goes back to another thing that Lucas founded Star Wars in is the masks that people wear. I forget the book that he based it on, but it was an anthropology book that was real big in the 60s and 70s. But anyway, he based his whole mindset of what kind of mask do people wear, around that idea. And Gilroy pulls that concept into this with Dedra specifically. She has to wear a mask. Otherwise, she can't do what needs to be done, if you will, air quotes, like she can't be the evil person. Because I don't think she's capable. Well, she's definitely capable of evil. I don't think that she realizes how detrimental her capability is until it's all said and done.
Yep. And so, perfect segue into the last arc. We get it with Luthen, right? For half a second, I thought she was dead serious. Like, she was just like in his shop looking for stuff.
Yep.
Like, I was like, oh, I guess we're getting just like kind of a interesting. Oh, she's in here looking for things, and then I was like, oh, no.
I knew immediately.
I was naive. I was just like, oh, interesting. What's gonna happen? Oh, and then I saw her, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, when she put that Star Path unit on the table,
that was her MacGuffin. She had to find, if she found that, everything came together.
Well, and the thing is, she plays the game perfectly, and at the finish line,
She messes
she
up.
stumbles.
Yep.
She stumbles and she loses. Because if she doesn't go in there by herself, she plays the game and tells everybody, she doesn't end up in a jail cell.
Right.
In my opinion. I don't know if that's fact or not, but like if she doesn't go in there and it be a complete cluster where he actually ends up dying,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Krennic gets her in a cell and says you're a rebel spy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did in Caleb? I think you'll know this in
Okay.
Mandalorian and Ahsoka.
Mm.
They do something with the the ex-Imperials. They try to like convert them basically into.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, they do that.
What's it called? Do you remember what it's called in that
Oh,
series?
the
I don't.
it's
I don't
some
remember.
kind of program.
They
Yeah.
like deprogramming.
It's like the thing they
Right,
did with the
right.
Nazis, where it's like you're the Nazi, but now you're not. So come work for us and Coruscant.
That whole thing. That's how I feel like if I'm gonna do this Mon Mothma series that I hope they do, which they probably won't, but if they were to do a Mon Mothma series and they do the whole Bothan spy thing, they should bring Dedra back into the mix as somebody who's going through that
Amnesty program.
amnesty program. Thank you. I think Dedra, like, she's going to be so upset with herself, feeling the guilt that she has felt because of Gorman and all of her other mistakes, that she should go through this amnesty program, become like Mon Mothma's right hand, and get the plans for the second Death Star. Would that not be a fun like story? I think
I'm in with Gilroy. I like her where she is.
I do too. I love
Leave
the
it
ending.
sad, baby. No redemption.
Yeah.
You played the game. You lost.
Got burnt. Now you're on Marquina.
Just one redeem, please. Just one.
No redemption. Don't bring back Kylo Ren and make him good. Don't bring back Dedra and make her good.
Okay, well, I agree with you on Kylo. But Dedra, I'm like, but I feel so bad. Like,
oh, I love it. I'm like this.
I actually thought she was gonna step off of the cell and just die. I thought she was just gonna get electrocuted and die. I really thought she was.
Oh, I did too. Actually, I thought like, oh, she's just gonna do
that'd
it.
be brutal.
I honestly thought she was gonna do that as well. I was right there with you.
My brother,
kind of sadder.
My brother and my dad told me that they thought that she was gonna do that.
No, like I was right there with you. I was like, she's about to just do it. And
Kay says, or does she become just like Kino, or is she just gonna sink in her depression?
No, her life's over, man.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, truthfully,
I just wondered after a certain amount of time that she would turn and be like Kino and like, I'm gonna make the most out of this.
She done.
No, I think she's so. I think she's like even mentally, not just physically, mentally broken to the points like, I got nothing.
I mean, your whole worldview, your whole life just got completely. Everything was fell apart.
You work your way that far up the chain, expecting riches untold, or however you want to call it.
No, and she just did the Gorman massacre, by the way, for the Empire. She just said, "Go kill all those people,"
and that's her legacy, and she has to live with that. So yeah, she's gonna sit in a prison cell the rest of her life and be like, "What did I do? What did I do?
Yep.
I did this to myself."
I think I agree.
Empire played me.
And I still want her to be in a Mon Mothma series where she's a good guy.
I mean, I don't know if I would be upset if Gilroy was attached. You know what I mean? That's where we're at.
No, that's the thing. That's my only contingency is that
give Gilroy anything. Give Gilroy anything. Special shout out to Lonnie in this arc for passing along to
Lonnie.
The whole time.
Save the world.
Yeah. Passing it along to Luthen that there's this thing called a Death Star that they're working on. And Luthen
Lonnie saved the universe.
Yeah, for real.
I always was wondering watching Rebels how they could just not know. Because they have all this intelligence. You got Saw Gerrera in Rebels, you got Mon Mothma, you got Bail Organa, you got all these people in Leia. You got all these people that we know from the original trilogy and the Disney era just hanging out. And they don't have access to this information about Death Star in Rebels. I mean, I was always curious about that. So you bring in Lonnie. Yeah. But that I didn't know there was an energy program until Andor.
Because there wasn't. Okay. I don't know. I'm just
back to those plot holes.
Plot, love it. Gotta love the plot.
Yeah. No. I think that was their way of trying to answer that question of like, how did no one know about this? Well, they kind of
I think it's a great answer.
And Bale even says it. He's like, yeah, we knew that. No, we knew about that. And they're like,
Mhm.
no, you didn't actually. They're building this mega planet killer. So you should have done your homework, Bale.
Oscar
Yes.
says give Gilroy a trilogy. If Gilroy will come back to Star Wars, absolutely. But
Yeah.
I don't. He doesn't
Hey,
sound like
here's
Give
the
he's
beauty of
interested
that.
in it.
We just got like 4 trilogies or
True.
three
Yeah, I
trilogies.
think they released a stat of comparing the Skywalker saga compared like runtime compared to Cassian's arc runtime, and it's very close.
Well, I can't say I blame them. I mean, that's 2 seasons in a movie. That's a lot of Cassian Andor.
Right, right.
And I don't know if you remember this, Caleb, but the very first time I came on Mando Talk, who did I say my favorite character was?
Cassian Andor.
Cassian Andor.
Got to
You
be
know, like-
amplified by now, right?
It's weird. Like I used to just think, oh, it's because he's been in this fight since 6-year-old, and I'm a nerd and I love Star Wars. I've loved this since I was 4 years old. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm looking at it going, holy freaking crap. Like
Yeah.
it's like, how do you not walk away and go, this might be he may be like a top 5 Star Wars best.
Mm-hmm.
It's like-
yeah. I mean, I
I
think I'm
mean,
with you. I think
When
I'm
you
with
look at if you're gonna stack it, it's like Vader. It may be Cassian number 2. I mean, it's you throw Obi-Wan, Anakin, Han Solo on there too.
I think Obi-Wan's up there for me personally, but like I think you're right, dude. Top 5, I think you're in there.
It's
Easy.
hard. It'd be hard not to make that argument at this point.
I completely agree, man. And Oscar says the Andor saga, new Star Wars saga. I mean, like I said, we almost basically got that.
Yeah, essentially.
Listen,
is
Oscar,
crazy.
I know it's all in the Catalyst novel. Okay, I know that.
I don't.
Well, I haven't
Sorry.
read it. I know it because internet, but I don't. And I was at a bookstore last weekend, and I thought, hey, the Catalyst novel. Maybe I should buy that. Nah, I'm good. And then now I'm sitting this comment going, probably should have bought that Catalyst novel.
I'm such an old man with this stuff. Like, give me what I need in the movie. I don't want to have to read 58
Yeah.
books.
I'm with you.
I respect that.
I'm with you now.
You should not have to watch.
I just don't have time.
You shouldn't have to watch 3 seasons of Andor to understand why the Death Star had an exhaust port that a farm boy can blow up.
I agree. I feel that way about like Marvel too. Like I don't want to. I'm not
I
where
agree.
we used to be with Marvel. Like I don't want to have to watch all this. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm an
I
old
agree.
man. I got kids. I got life. I don't have time. or
That's
money.
why that's why we're such dorks and stay up till 2 a.m. watching Rogue One.
You're exactly right. I mean, literally, that's why I had to wait
No,
till
that's
like
true.
10
That's
to
true. You
start.
gotta wait. Yeah. It sucks, but it's also like, you know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
Tiff hitting the Varian sky again, so pretty. That's a running thing. Tiff would always throw in on any video that I would post, essentially.
Mhm.
I want to talk about how'd y'all feel about Luthen and Clea's flashbacks?
Oh man. The dad in me was like, how could you do this to your child? It's not his child. I get that.
Right,
Like
right.
adopted, it was a little bit of a parallel to like a Jedi finding a force sensitive child, taking him to the temple, teaching. It was a little indicative of that. My favorite thing is whenever he's like, press the button. Do it. Press the button. Like he's really like trying to get her, hey, if we're gonna do this, and I need you to be here. Like I worked very closely with my dad for like the last decade. So like it's a little like I feel a little connection there. We weren't committing treason, but like, it's still kind of neat to go, you know what? I really appreciate the training aspect of this. Like, let me take you under my wing and do all that. I thought overall it was interesting.
Yeah.
Torn because I'm like, how dare you? But also, okay. And then the best thing is when they blow up a bridge on Naboo.
Oh yeah. Very
Attack
cool.
the first rebellion attack ever on Naboo. 2 messages. 1, screw you, Palpatine.
Like we know
avenge
this. We know who you
Yeah.
are, big dog.
And avenge Padme. Like that's the 2
Yeah.
things I'm getting at that. Loved it. I thought,
What do you think, Zach?
I think it confirmed that Luthen worked for Clea in my mind. I think she was the one who was like the psychopath of this in like a good way.
Right.
She was scorn, and Luthen, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's calling the shots ish. But like
it's a
she's been a
duo.
baller since she was like what 5 or
Right.
however old she was there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of seeded throughout this season that Luthen's kind of losing his grip on all this.
Exactly. And she
she's
like
the one
locks him
that's-
in.
yeah.
She's like, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we got to do. And he's like, I think we're all out of, perfect
Tricks,
or whatever he
right.
said. and she's just. I love their moments. We didn't talk about the moment when they walk out. They're like, "Oh, we should have just killed him when we were up there." Talking about Krennic.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, you should have. But man, I really at first, I won't lie to you guys. I was like, I don't know if I want this flashback at this moment. But man, it worked for me. It really, 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 really worked for me. I didn't realize I needed it, especially for what was going on in this episode with him die. Like, he gets hurt, and then is he gonna die? Is he not? And then she has to do it. Oh man. Just incredible writing again, of course.
Another little weird piece of reality in that several families all the time have to make the decision on whether or not to pull the plug on a family member. It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And she would do that. Like, they talked about this. Like, hey, if I'm down, you got to kill me. Or make sure I don't get caught. That's why he kills our boy Lonnie, R.I.P.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
In cold blood. And when he said Yavin, I was like, he dead. He dead here.
I kind of, my wife and I have that too. She said, if the zombie apocalypse ever happens, just take me out. That's what she's told me.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Lonnie. Shout out Lonnie, man.
Yeah.
God, what a cool moment. And then they tied it back in when Dedra and Krennic are in there, and he's like, "You had somebody looking through all our stuff," and
the finger.
I legit had my jaw drop. I was like, "Oh no!" Because to them, 100%, you're a rebel spy. You gathered all this secret information, and you're sharing it with others who we now know as a rat. You're a spy. You are bad.
I feel like essentially we've kind of touched on a lot of things here in this final arc, but I want to touch on what Cassian was doing, because we kind of see Cassian and K2 run a mission together for the first time, where K2 uses the dude as a bodyguard or a shield.
I can't believe we got that in Star Wars.
So
I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't believe we got that. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible work.
And then we've already kind of touched on the Bix moment. Those are really the main things that kind of stand out in that final arc regarding those essential characters there. And I thought it was really cool, Mon Mothma just kind of sinking right in with the Rebel Alliance and how she's no longer this flashy senator. It was really cool getting all of those moments of her and Bail, and just really the overall setup that they performed to get us ready for Rogue One. It was
perfect
really
setup
well
for
done.
Rogue One, even with a little bit of a cheesy end scene, but man, it worked for me.
Oh, I didn't feel it was cheesy at all.
It worked for me.
The slow-mo walk, looking at all of our characters here and there, I was like, I could watch 14 hours of this. Like,
same. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it was a little like, all right.
You kind of get it. Left me going, crap. I know this is the end, and we're never getting any more.
Bingo.
Wish we were getting more.
And they're all literally about to die like 5 minutes. Like, oh no.
Within like 3 days.
So it's so good, man. What a show.
Incredible show. I truly loved it from beginning to end. And I'm sure there's so much that we could continue to talk about with this because it's so layered. But man, just such
you could say the same thing about Mando talk.
Yeah, I guess you could. We started Mando talk covering Peak with the Mandalorian, and we're ending Mando talk covering Peak with Andor season 2. But I will say again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because your boy Caleb is going to be sticking around inside Caleb's Cantina. So I look forward to it.
I'm coming to the Cantina. Don't worry.
I think I'm going to come to the Cantina.
Okay. Y'all are invited. I'm officially extending an invite to a Superman discussion.
Okay.
Like, that's for sure gotta happen.
You know what? I'll give a plug real quick to my podcast, Cinematic Theology.
Okay.
Me and John, who was on here earlier, we did an episode recently on Superman. The most recent episode we did was actually on Superman. Okay. So
that's if timely. You want to, very timely.
Yeah. Well, the trailer dropped, and I was like, John, you love Superman. Let's do one. So it was a special episode. So yeah, go check that out, because we talked a lot about Superman on that one. But I'm going to bring some of those thoughts over here when Superman drops. Hopefully, I can do it because I'll be
Yeah,
in
me-
peak.
I-
I'll be in peak camp season at that point. It'll be all
That's
get
true.
away.
Summer
But
busy,
I can't
yeah.
wait to be able to talk about more things.
Right.
That's what I'm excited
Yes.
about.
Yeah, I'm very much so looking forward to it. And Gavin says, and maybe me at some point.
Gavin has low key been like, DJ, can I please come back on Mando Talk? I'm like, it's not up to me, man. Like,
That's funny. That's funny. Well, I appreciate everybody that decided to come and hang out with us tonight live. I like to do this, so I'm going to try my best to run through here and give shout outs one more time because truthfully, the ones that hung out with us live tonight were a very much core piece of Mando Talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Recently and really throughout the year. So shout out Galactic Cantina, Kay, Hannah / the Rayside, Gavin / TK421, John Hare. Let's see. Got to scroll some more. Tiff. Shout out to Tiff. Shout out to Imperial Activity / RFB. Shout out to, I think next would be Oscar. And I believe that's going to get everybody that joined us live. Greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. And I greatly appreciate you too. You two helped me out and joined in on the fun during this Mando Talk era. Whenever I really wanted to talk about something with somebody. DJ, I think you rode with me for like a couple years there consistently.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
And then Zach kind of stepped in there as well. And it kind of just became a all hands on deck whenever we're readily available kind of a thing here recently, again, because of the phase of life that we're in. And again, I look forward to more nerdy conversations with you, whether it's Star Wars or another fandom. I very much so look forward to it. So thank you both. Any final words, Zach? What do you got to say?
Dude, this has been amazing. I love talking these things with you and being able to just hang out and chill. Giving us an excuse to do that is always great. So this has been awesome. I can't wait to see what happens next. Get to talk about the other cool stuff.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. DJ,
And
final words?
I'm here because I won a contest.
That's true. That is very true.
And I don't think I've ever told you this, Caleb, but I still have the letter that you wrote when I got the bobblehead and the hat in the mail.
Yeah.
I have it kind of put away. I don't know why. It sounds weird that I kept it, but I did. I still got it somewhere in a drawer, and it's made it through now two moves and one out of state.
Dang.
So
there you go.
Yeah. So like, Rebel Scum Texan now lives in Oklahoma. So, but hey, you know what? No. No, I'd proudly say that. Actually, don't I root for UT, but whatever. The real UT for you Tennesseans over there.
Hey, I'm all cats anyway.
Yeah, man. I just say, man, thanks, because shoot, there's 400 other people out there who do a better job than me. So I'm glad I got to be a part of it for all this time, and I'm looking forward to the new era.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's our sequel trilogy era. Nope.
Don't say that.
I'm just kidding. It's
our
going to be great.
Andor quality era.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be even better, and it's going to be awesome.
That's right. That's right. Well, again, greatly appreciate the both of you. Greatly appreciate everybody that joined us live. Greatly appreciate anybody that's watching or listening on the playback. Again, specifically talking to the podcast listeners right now, make sure you hop over to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. It's changing to Caleb's Cantina. That is where you are going to find me exclusively moving forward, is on YouTube. I'm not going anywhere, just opening things up. And I can't wait to continue to have some fun with every single one of you guys. And it's now time for us to get out of here. So for one last time, ladies and gentlemen, I get to say the tagline of We Have Spoken.